It's obvious that to be successful, you need to be disciplined, you need to work hard. If you want to lose weight, you should obviously be in a calorie deficit, eat less, you should exercise. If you want to make friends, you have to go out there and talk to people and join clubs. But to do all those things, you need to be the type of person that can do these things. There are levels to this. And a lot of self-improvement advice is telling you to skip from level 1 and to go straight into level 5. If you want to make friends and you're in university and someone tells you, just join clubs and talk to people there. They have common interests. Pretty easy, right? But what if you have severe social anxiety and just the thought of joining a club just stresses you out? The advice doesn't apply to you because you can't take action on it yet. And that's something that you need to realize. You have to take smaller steps. You have to get to the next level before you go to level 5. And you have to be at level 5 to eventually be level 1 million. If you want to start achieving your dream body and you need to lose weight and you need to build muscle, are you just gonna start eating less and start going to the gym consistently forever? Because that's what you need to do. But we don't always need to be told exactly what are the action steps to achieving that. But instead, we need to know what are the action steps we need to take in order to become the type of person, in order to eventually become the type of person that can implement the advice that we've been given. I used to be a self-improvement content addict. When I was 14 years old, I liked some girls and I was shy. I didn't look good. I didn't know how to get girls, but I wanted them to get to like me. So of course I would go on YouTube and type in how to get my crush to like me back. I probably didn't search those exact terms up, but you get the gist of it. And little by little, I started consuming more of that content. Then I started looking at grooming. Then a lot of people with Lambos and Miami penthouses came up, and I got introduced to the red pill and self-improvement and productivity and mindset, self-improvement. And they all told me basically I have to work hard and be disciplined. And I did. I do need to. That's what we eventually need to aspire to be. But no one ever told me how to even become that person. They just told me to do it. And they told me to use some certain motivations, even if it's dark. There's one specific one I remember from Hamza that always sticks in my head. Think of your dream wife getting railed by someone else because you didn't put in the work. That didn't work for me. I joined Hamza's community at one point. He's still technically my favorite YouTuber of all time, probably. He's helped me a lot. Recently, I think he's gone a little bit off the rails, but I'm not here to criticize him. He's still honestly better and nicer and kinder than and more honest than 99% of people, even with his even though I disagree with a lot of his new teachings. But I joined his community and I started talking about my problems of getting in and out of ruts, of how I would do the good habits for 2 weeks at a time, and then I would all of a sudden start brain rotting, eating junk food, and I physically didn't feel like I had the ability to choose not to rot in bed all day. It felt like when I was in bed, I literally physically couldn't get out of bed and put my feet on the ground and put the fork down and get my butt in the gym. It physically literally felt like I didn't have the free will to do that. And I posted that on Hamza's community, and I don't remember, there was some 12-year-old that flamed me and told me how much of a loser I was. It hurt me back then. I don't really care about it now. And they did it from a self-righteous point of view. They did it to show off. Indirectly, subconsciously, they just wanted to get validation from other people there that they were, that they were better, that they were actually on the right path, and they wanted people to agree and like their comment, and they wanted to show off to me how good they were and how horrible I was. but they also logically justified their emotional need by saying you need to feel the pain to change. Did that work for me? Actually, it did. Not those comments. Those comments probably prevented my progress a little bit. But I, at the end of the day, never really changed until the pain in my life got so bad that it was easier to get out of bed than to suffer and be depressed and want to eliminate myself from this life. But those comments didn't help. And that advice, me giving the advice to just work hard, bro, you're a loser, bro, you need to feel pain, it didn't work for me. But something that would have gotten me closer was a little bit of kindness, a little bit of self-forgiveness, a little bit of self-compassion, a little bit of taking it slow. One piece of advice that actually changed something, because normally we get given advice, but if we don't trust the person who's giving that advice, it doesn't work. Like me, for example, I'm not gonna lie to you, you can think this is bad for me, but I don't see like therapists as this authority figure. So whatever they say, I just want to take it seriously. Maybe that's something I need to change. We're not gonna argue about that right now. But I got into a call with a figure I respected. He was my friend's dad. And I was talking about how I physically felt like I didn't have the free will to change. And I was talking about how I was so lazy. And one of the things he said was, stop thinking that, man. I was like, and normally if it was anyone else, I would have been like, in my head, I would have been like, oh, I can't just stop thinking about it. But for some reason, for him, when he said it, I was like, do you mean to like literally in my mind not think that? And he was like, yeah. And then it clicked. He was right. My identity, who I think I am, manifests into my actions. If I think I'm lazy, I'm going to be lazy. Maybe I'm not saying this is some crazy, deep philosophical advice, but it worked for me then. And my words might not work for you. They might not. But there's so many things you need to do, so many action steps you need to take. And but if there's one thing that I always tell people no matter what, it's I say this in pretty much all of my videos. I don't know if you guys watch my videos. If you watch my videos, one of the 130 people that subscribe to me, what do you think I'm going to say? I'm going to say, take the smallest action step you can and take it right now. What is the smallest step? If you need to go to the gym, don't commit yourself to experiencing the full pain of the workout. Instead, just commit yourself to putting on your shoes and don't go to the gym. That will plant a seed in your head so that eventually you can become the type of person, or at least it increases the chances of you becoming the type of person that can go to the gym. Maybe it just increases the chances and it won't make you do it, but if you consistently increase your chances, you're eventually going to reach a self-identity, and you're eventually going to be the person that has a 99% chance of going to the gym that day. And there's so many laws and averages and little mental tricks and motivations that you have to play on yourself, and you have to rewire what you think and what you do and what you think is true. And you have to be conscious of your excuses sometimes. You can meditate. Meditating is literally the gym for becoming consciously aware of your thoughts. A lot of us just automatically come up with excuses, and they're valid because at the end of the day, if you're a excuse machine, that's literally going to prevent you from taking action. Your brain has convinced itself that you can't, or there are reasons. But once you become aware that these excuses are just your brain trying to protect itself from whatever trauma or past you've had, and you become aware that they're not real reasons, they're just something that your brain automatically does. Once you become aware of them, you now gain the ability to put them aside and think different things. And these are the things we need to change, and they're not changed instantly. You have to put in the reps and do it over and over and over again, and eventually you actually see that you can gain the ability to start building a habit. And you're going to fail habits, and you're going to fail, and you're going to get overwhelmed, and then you're going to have to keep going again and again and again and again and again. And that's how it goes. I was talking about identity earlier and how you need to change your identity. But I also got to say, how the heck are you going to change your identity if you have no proof that you are who you say you are? if you want to be a disciplined person and you want to change your identity from that of a lazy person to that of a disciplined person, and you have no proof, all your proof is that you're sitting in bed all day, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be impossible, but it's going to be hard. And now that brings up the question, if I have so much proof that I'm a lazy person, how am I gonna change your identity? Meditation. You're gonna have to be consciously aware of when your brain comes up with self-destructive thoughts of you being a lazy person, and you're literally gonna have to consciously choose and use your willpower, energy, and use your willpower and energy to divert your attention to something else. Because the quality of our life, literally 100%, is completely almost based on the quality of your thoughts. Assuming free will exists. Everything is assuming free will exists, because I literally didn't believe in free will at some point in my life. Hopefully you guys do. If you're the type of person that doesn't believe in free will, you might be right, but I literally ask you, brother, to dumb yourself down and force yourself to believe in free will. And yes, you can. You can absolutely force yourself to believe anything. With the right circumstances and the right content and with the right circumstances, you can believe anything. You can believe in God. I can become an atheist if I want to. I could probably believe flat earth in some way. It's going to be hard. It's not worth it. It might be really hard, but you can. And any limiting belief you have, and anything that says you can't, if you want to become a billionaire, the biggest thing preventing you from becoming a billionaire is the idea that you can't make it. That's the first obstacle, and therefore it's the biggest. There's a book called, I think, The Obstacle is the Way. I haven't read it, but it sounds pretty self-explanatory, and I like it. Most shortcuts just don't get you closer to your goals. It doesn't build you as a person. You have to go through the obstacle and let it shape you. And the obstacle is the best way. Does that make sense? And at the end of the day, there's so much. I keep talking about needing to have proof for your identity. If you want to be a disciplined person, you need to have proof that you're disciplined by going to the gym or going on runs or something. But at the same time, it's literally impossible to have the identity of it's literally impossible to be disciplined without having the identity of a different person. So what do you need? Do you need to change your identity, or do you need to get proof that you are who you say you are? I think this is not the right question, because these things are kind of almost, it seems like it's outside human logic. It's like the question that no one really knows the answer to. What comes first, the chicken or the egg? I don't freaking know. Maybe there is a first, but I like to think of it as a loop. The chicken and then the egg. The chicken and then the egg. It's a circle. It's a loop. None of them came first, like the water cycle. What came first? Condensation or evaporation? No, none of them came first. It just keeps happening. So you just have to throw yourself in the middle of the loop and take action. You can change your identity by becoming consciously aware of your thoughts and shifting your attention elsewhere. Or you can take a very small action step and take physical action. And you do this over a long enough period of time, you change your identity, you change your habits, you change your beliefs. Then you will reach your goals. Of course, you have to adopt the right identity, the right beliefs, the right habits. But I feel like if you gain the power to change your identity and habits and beliefs, then you can, and if there's free will, then you can choose to do whatever you want. Of course, if you want to be a billionaire, your identity and habits are going to have to be different than that of a monk living in the mountains meditating all day. But I feel like it's easier to get the ability to change your identity and habits and actions and beliefs. And if you do that, you'll be fine, bro. All right, God bless you. If you believe in love, I think you already believe in God, because God is love. God bless you. Bye.